So today we are going to do the rendering exercises, and rendering means coloring the surface or the object with respect to the source of light, from where the light is falling from. Here we have made 4 objects. First, which has a flat surface, the second which has a half dome surface, the third is a knife edge, and the fourth is a sphere. And we will be assuming that the source of light is from the top left side on each object. We are going to render as yellow gold, and we are going to use our Staedtlers. So we are going to use the white Staedtler, the light yellow, the dark yellow, light brown, and a darker shade of brown. So if you are rendering on gateway, you need to make these objects and then you need to flip the gateway and render from the other side to avoid any smudging with the pencil lead or the carbon. For gateway, you need to color the entire object with white Staedtler first, because gateway is translucent, so we need to have a kind of this white layer color first. But if you are doing on white bond sheets or a sketchbook, you can avoid this white color. So since the light is falling from the left side, then we are going to show the transition as dark, medium to light, and from this side it is going to be dark, medium to light. For that, we are going to first mark an area which is going to be the lightest on this surface. So I am going to mark it with my light yellow, and then I am going to start coloring first with my light yellow, and my pressure has to be very, very light. And similarly from this side, we are going to do first with the light yellow. And the area initially in the beginning that I marked, I'm going to keep it as white, because this area shows the most reflective portion of the metal. And this side is going to be again light yellow. Entirely we are going to do it with the light yellow, keeping a pressure very, very minimal. So I'm just doing a second layer with the same pressure, so that if there is any area or parts where the color has not been done or left out, we can fill it. The next I'm going to take is a darker shade of yellow, and with again light pressure, I'm going to blend it halfway and then slightly with the minimal pressure just around this area. So in the beginning you'll have a regular pressure, but again not too much, and then very light pressure here. And similarly from this side, see, it's dark, medium, light, no? So dark, medium, light, we are going it that way. And similarly from this side, and here very minimal pressure just for the blending. And here again the entire part we are going to color with the dark yellow. Next, you can take a very light brown that you have in your color set, and starting from here we'll have a very little area which we want to show as dark and then we want to blend it with very minimal pressure so that we can have the effect of that gold, yellow gold. Again from here, so dark, medium and light. So again here we are going to start from this corner and try to blend with very light pressure. And here we are going to color the entire portion with brown. So this part receives no light, so it is going to be darker than the rest. And if you feel that you still need to slightly darken, you can always again add a little layer of the brown color. So this is how your flat surface will look when you render it as yellow gold. Next is the half dome. Again, if you're using the gateway, you need to first fill in the entire object or the design with the white. Since I'm doing on sketchbook, I will avoid this one. Next, I'm going to take the light. So here the technique is for this dome, dark, medium, light, again dark, medium and light. So I'm going to mark my lightest area so that my color does not go inside it. And then I'm going to start coloring with light yellow first. And again the pressure has to be very less. And similarly from this side I'm going to do the same thing. And here we are going to cover the entire area. So a little more, just a touch. Next I'm going to take my darker yellow and starting from the side, only till midway I'm going to do with the regular pressure, again not too much, and then as I move forward I'm going to release my pressure for just that slight blending. Again similarly from this side, I'm going to start from the side and move towards the light area, releasing my pressure for just that blend. And here I'm going to entirely fill this area with the dark yellow color. Next I'm going to take my light brown and I'm going to start from my side, from this edge, and the technique is going to be the same. First it is going to be the regular pressure, but again not too much, and then I'm going to move forward with very minimal pressure for just that blending effect. And similarly from this side. If you want to have it a little darker, you can again have an extra 2-3 layers. In the same way, it will give you a darker tone. And then this side, the entire surface, we are going to color with the light brown. So to add a little more effect on the edges, you can use slightly the darker shade of the darker brown, the darker shade of brown. So it's totally up to you. Do you want to show the gold as dark, a little dark golden, or a subtle way? So we have done the two surfaces, the flat one and the half dome. Next we are going to do is knife edge. So again we are going to take, so for knife edge, some people keep it white. I however do not like to keep that the surface entirely white. So what we are going to do is going to be a little very light dark to medium and light, and this part is going to be dark and this part is going to be the darkest. So first we have to color surface with the light yellow, and every side, this side also first we are going to do with the light yellow. And again similarly this side also. And now we are going to take our dark yellow and we are going to start from here with the regular pressure. Again, when I say regular, it is not that it has to be too much, very regular, but not very, it has to be very light, and slight blending here. Similarly here, we are going to do the entire area with yellow. And this side as well. Next we are going to take is light brown and we'll start from this edge. And with very light pressure, we are just going to blend it. And we are going to leave it there. Next here, this side it has to be entire, it has to be dark, so we are going to do the entire surface with brown. So at least 2-3 layers we'll be giving of brown, the light brown. And here again we have to color the entire with brown, and this side is going to be the darkest. So we can use the darker shade of brown and then give one layer with very light pressure. So one or two layer you can give until you're satisfied. So I feel this is fine, so I'll stop it here. Towards this edge also, if you want, it is your choice that you can give a slight and darker shade just for the blending. So the knife edge is done. Next we are going to do is sphere. For sphere again, we are going to make, because of the shape, we are going to make a round, off center round, and then we are going to start with a light color and we are going to fill the color everywhere. It should just not go inside the white area. So it's best if you give it in circular motion, if you render in the circular motion. And then we have to render with the dark yellow. So how it is going to go, it's going to be dark to medium to the light, this area from everywhere. So dark, medium and towards light, dark, medium towards the light area, which is this. So again I'm going to start here like this, and then I'm going to reduce my pressure with very slight blending, just the blending here. And then we are going to use the light brown. Again, same way, we are going to start from the edge in a circular motion. And then advance towards the light area, keeping the pressure very, very low. And if you want to show a little darker tone of like yellow gold, you can again add one or two layers as per your requirement. And maybe towards the edge we can use the darker shade of brown just around the edge. And slightly, I'm just trying to blend it. So these are our 4 surfaces which we have rendered: the flat, half dome, knife edge and square. And in the next exercise we are going to learn, and I'm going to make a motif and how we can have the same shading or the rendering in those motifs. Yes. So now I have made similar motifs and we are going to render these motifs. I've still made them a little big, but this is how you have to do for the smaller motifs also. So for the smaller motifs, you can ditch the light yellow, which are smaller than this, because there is not enough space to do each and every color. So we usually take the dark yellow and the light brown, and if required, the darker shade of brown. Otherwise these two are enough for very small motifs. So for flat surface, I'm going to leave a streak and I'm going to render in the rest of the area with my light yellow. You can also avoid light yellow if you want for smaller motifs, as I mentioned earlier. And then I'm going to take my yellow again the same way in one direction, the diagonal direction. I'm going to then blend here, and from here also I'm taking in this direction. I'm going to blend. It's the same way how we did earlier the flat surface. And then we are going to take our light brown, and starting from this edge we are going to blend it inward again with very minimal pressure. So here it is going to be darkest, and then towards, when we proceed towards the light area, we are going to release the pressure. So again, if you want to blend it further, we can still again blend it a little further. We can also reduce the area of light if we want. If we feel that we want a very minimal streak, we can do that also. So this is how we are going to render the flat surfaces. Now we are going to render the half dome. For the half dome, I'm going to take this shape starting from the edge, so that our light area has a similar shape of the motif. Then fill the dark yellow, again the same thing. And then we are going to use the brown. And we can always reduce the size of the light area. So if we want, we can reduce it further. So this is how it is going to, we're going to render it, and slightly I just want to give that slight edge. It's optional. It's according to your preference. And then we are going to do the knife edge. So this side will receive very the maximum light. So it's going to be very light. And this side is going to be the dark. So it's going to be darker than the other side. Here again, simply here and slight blending. This side, the entire area will be yellow. And then we are going to take a light color, light brown. And we are going to color this entire area or render it with the light brown, keeping the pressure very less. If you want to show, you can show a little bit of blending here, little, very slight blending. So this is how you make your knife edge. Now for filigree, maybe we have a wire which is very thin. So we are not going to do the light yellow. We are going to start with directly with the dark yellow, because there is not enough space here in between. So here you need not leave the white area, and then from the edge we are going to slightly start from the edge. So automatically you can see that the yellow now becomes the lightest area because it is light in color. Okay, so if you have something like this, then you can next use the darker shade and just try to make arcs or curves, small curves. It can be in any direction. Make sure that your stedler is well sharpened. So this is how we can show the filigree. Next, engraving we can show by making any design. Use very light pressure of the pencil. So I'm going to use another pencil. So for example, I want to show engraving, so I'm making any design very light here. You can make whatever you like, and then using my darker one, simply I'm going to trace on that design. So for engraving, we always show a single curve, like we do not need to make two lines double, just a single curve. This is your engraving. For enameling, you can choose any color of your choice. And the way how we have shown the rendering of yellow gold, it is the same way, only that we are using a different color. So if I want to show that this piece is flat, the rendering will be, I will leave a streak. But the streak in this case will not be very prominent and it will not be very white. So with very light pressure, we have to color the first layer. And then the other layer. So now when I am moving towards the center, I'm going to stop somewhere here, and then I'm going to start again from here. And I'll stop here. So it's like we need to blend. Then according to what intensity you want to show, you can keep adding layers of the same color. So this is our enameling technique. Next video will be about rendering faceted gemstones like round brilliant cut, emerald cut, baguette, oval cut, and also the cabochons.